As we were riding down this lonely dirt road in the wide open Arizona prairie, off in the distance, Kevin and I realized we were being sized up by what appeared to be a large group of dogs. As several of the dogs just stared at us, we both thought,
a whole pack of wild Arizona dogs.
I had no interest in becoming a canine pincushion for a second time on this trip. But after a closer look, we realized it was just a lone Navajo sheep farmer tending to his herd. When we pulled over a few miles ahead to photograph this beautiful rock formation, Kevin began speaking with a man who was also admiring this amazing sight. As I messed around with my camera gear, I heard the man say to Kevin, "I'm a geologist." I slowly turned away and thought, what are the odds that 10 days ago, I tell Kevin that I'm a geologist to prove a point, and we run into a real geologist. I've never met a geologist in my whole life. I knew exactly what Kevin was thinking. Oh, you're a geologist? You should meet my friend Terry. He's a geologist too. I kept waiting for it, but Kevin never called me out on my little white lie in front of the real geologist. I think he got plenty of satisfaction just watching me sweat it out the whole time we were there. Later in the afternoon, we arrived at Four Corners Monument, the only place in the U.S. where 4 states meet at one point. Just for a little fun, we decided to challenge ourselves and see if we could ride through all 4 states in less than 2 minutes. Within 30 minutes, we were back in Colorado and turning onto Forest Road 250, where we were about to experience over 100 miles of Colorado backroads riding. This morning we would ride back to my cabin near Westcliff, a relatively short ride of about 160 miles. But yesterday, during our Colorado backcountry ride in the middle of nowhere, Earl started showing signs of being difficult to start again. We figured we'd be able to make it back to Westcliff and we would deal with the problem there. It was right in this area where Earl decided he'd had enough and wasn't going to start again, about 300 feet from the cabin. Kevin literally coasted right up to the steps. Shortly after that, Kevin was taking my bike, which by the way doesn't have a name, into town to buy a new battery for Earl. A couple of hours later, Kevin returned with a brand new motorcycle battery and tonight's dinner. On the last day of our trip, we continued riding some of the Colorado back roads. First following Oak Creek Grade, the old wagon road that runs between Silver Cliff and Canyon City. Next was Phantom Canyon in what used to be an old narrow-gauge railroad bed, which carried supplies and gold ore from Cripple Creek and Victor to the town of Florence. Unfortunately, another spectacular trip comes to an end.